Hi everyone, today we have Janelle, Kadia, and Lisa here, and we'll be making some traditional sugar cookies. For this recipe, you'll need 3/4 cups of softened butter, 1 cup sugar, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 2.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. First and foremost, always wash your hands. This prevents any contamination. In a bowl, begin by mixing together 3/4 cups of butter and 1 cup of sugar. In this recipe, we have 2 leavening agents. First, our physical leavening agent is included in the process of creaming butter and sugar, which allows for the even distribution of sugar crystals that cut into the fat, producing air bubbles. These trapped air bubbles cause a slight rise during the baking process. Then, add 2 eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla extract into the bowl and mix once more. Now in our second bowl, measure and mix together 2.5 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Baking powder, which is our chemical leavening agent, is made up of basic sodium bicarbonate, but also includes acidic salts. Unlike baking soda, baking powder just needs liquid to activate it and produce carbon dioxide rather than an acid. Now carefully pour the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients bowl. It's also important to refrain from eating with the raw cookie dough because it contains raw eggs. Eating raw eggs poses the risk of salmonella, but cooking the dough to a minimum internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit reduces this risk. Now pour out the dough and shape it into a ball. The next step will be to store your cookie dough in the fridge for about an hour. It should be stored at the highest shelf level along with the ready-to-eat foods and not in the lower shelves containing poultry or other foods that could cause cross-contamination. When there is about 20 minutes left in the fridge, preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Remove the chilled dough from the fridge and find a surface to roll out the dough. Begin by lightly flouring the surface to prevent the dough from sticking to the surface. The dough should be rolled to 1/8 of an inch thick. After rolling out the dough, use cookie cutters to cut out your desired shapes for the cookies. Transfer the cookies onto a tray lined with parchment paper. Now it's time to bake. Place a tray with the cookies into the preheated oven for about 6 to 8 minutes. The cookies will be baked through a heat transfer process referred to as convection, which uses the movement of thermal energy through moving air or liquid. As the oven begins heating, the heated air inside the oven rises to the top, cooking the food in the process. As it cools by transferring the heat into the food, it sinks back to the bottom of the oven where it gets heated again and the cycle continues. After 6 to 8 minutes in the oven, carefully remove the cookies and place them on the cooling rack. Cool for about 10 minutes, then enjoy.